Peace and blessings, everyone. Yes, this is Moon Goddess Ambrosia, the Fifth Force Oracle, tapping in to share the Cosmic Oracle reading of Evolution. And so, first, I definitely want to give a shout out and give my gratitude to High Priestess, Brother Akil, Neb Taharka, the priesthood of Mimic, and the Mimic family as a whole for being so dedicated to the mission and also being with me on this journey, as well as I continue to strengthen my role within it all. And so, with that, I do want to start by saying my affirmation as I am Kin 181, the red crystal dragon, and I dedicate in order to nurture, universalizing being. I seal the input of birth with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of space. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe Yo. And I'm definitely looking forward to sharing the reading for this plasma. So I would love to invite you all to join me in putting on your seatbelts and getting into the mindset of a synchronaut. A synchronaut is someone who is basically being a synchronaut means that we are synchronized co-creators and natural time travelers. And so the mindset of a synchronaut states that we are living expressions of divine synergy in motion, remembering our divine purpose to consciously create and fulfill our soul's mission in all spaces of time. And so, as we allow ourselves to sit in this mindset, a vision, you could close your eyes if you are um, in a safe space and able to do so. You can close your eyes and really envision your inner being the astronaut or the time traveler, utilizing your vessel to navigate in the experience and also to create. And so, as you sit in that, this is where the Destiny Kin Oracle comes in to serve as a fifth dimensional template for that assists us with sustaining our cosmic synergy as multidimensional beings. So what this means is that we're not only the driver or sitting in the driver's seat of our physical vessel, we also have different aspects of our being that supports us and helps us to overcome different challenges and things. And so this is where the Oracle board comes in at, where it involves our soul focus, which is a part of being that sitting in that driver's seat. That's the soul is the person, is the part of us that's sitting as the driver. When we get into the Destiny Oracle, and actually I'm going to pull it up closer for the kin that we will be focusing on today, which is kin 221, the red cosmic dragon. And so when we're looking at this oracle board, here on the left, we can indicate and see a closer view of the archetypes that are a part of the Destiny Oracle that, that helps to synergize all of the energy that we embody as multidimensional beings. And so before I came to this slide here, I was starting to go through the breakdown of the archetypes that sit in each position of the Destiny Oracle. So for here, I'll use this as our example so we can see each role that the archetypes play. So in the center, that is the driver's seat. That is the kin that we're on this plasma. And I like the way that Brother Akil explains it as like the kin of the plasma being like a counselor or a mentor. So kin 221 is mentoring us on this plasma to carry out the frequency of this kin through our through the way that we show up in our creative power. And so kin 221, when we look in the emotional body, we see that we have the yellow sun that sits there, which serves as the gas in our car. We got to have some gas in our car, that energy and motion to get our physical body and everything else in motion. So the yellow sun sits in that position as that fuel that's driving us to take action in creating. On the left, we have the blue monkey in the mental body. And so the mental body serves as or sits in the position of known as the antipode or the challenge slash gift. I like to think of this as the learning experiences or those obstacles that let me rephrase that. I like to think of this as or I'd like to think of challenges as learning opportunities. So when we encounter different obstacles, those are those learning opportunities to strengthen our mindset, to stay focused, and to come into new opportunities. It's like those character builders. So the kin that sits here in this position will serve as the guide or the mentor for strengthening our mindset to overcome those obstacles or challenges. So that is like when we're driving and we may have to take a detour, or we might decide to take a back road because it's a lot smoother for us to go that way than to run into traffic and things like that. That is what the mental body serves. And then on the right side, that represents the physical body, known as the analog, and that supports the kin of the focus, or it supports all of the energy within the destiny oracle. So in the red dragons oracle, we have the white mirror that sits in that position. And so just remember that when it comes to the physical body, that it is like our physical body. It carries um, all of our other aspects of us, like our soul, our emotions, our mental, as well as our spirit, and our bones and everything else. But all of that helps to support us from an energetic standpoint. And last but not least, I'll say this. So those are the 4 basic archetypes within the Red Dragon's Destiny Oracle. So that means all of the Red Dragons will have those 4 archetypes. Now, what will create some variations will be the galactic tone of that particular dragon. So for example, when you're looking at the oracle board on the left, you can see that the box above is blank. And that is because, again, that the term that depends on the galactic tone. So that position is known as the spirit guide. And so that would be like the GPS that's guiding us in the direction that we want to flow in with this energy. And so for Kin 221, we have the red serpent that sits in the spirit guide's position. And so I'm going to go through the breakdown of the galactic signature for Kin 221, which is the red cosmic dragon. And it is a part of the red moon wave spell, which I look at as I look at each wave spell as a mission to serve, where all of the 20 archetypes has their own wave spell. So with the red moon wave spell, its mission is to use its creative power of universal water to purify the flow, as well as, or I'll say, to purify the flow to nurture the birth of being. And so, purifying the universal waters, I think of all energies in motion. So that's our life force that's flowing within us, and also the energy that's flowing around us as well. So when we are going through this wave spell, we're purifying the way that we navigate and the way that we embody and navigate with the universal water, so that we can nurture ourselves and give birth to the true divine essence that we were born into and meant to be, do, and create. And so when we break down the red cosmic dragon, the red is the color code that also corresponds to the heptads and the galactic seasons, and it carries the energy of initiating. So all redkins are known as initiators of new knowledge and perspectives. And so the red dragon initiates the new knowledge and perspectives through the power of birth, through the power of nurturing ourselves into being, and also nurturing other things into being, or creating new things. And so this is the creative power that the red dragon is bringing in for us to tap into. And so then when it comes to the galactic tone, the corresponding tone for this plasma is the cosmic tone, which is enduring presence. So the okay, let me say this, which is enduring presence and transcending. So what this means is that in order for something to be, it has to also be present. And in order for it to continue to be, it also has to endure. And in order for it or being to move or take flight into new heights and go beyond and do more things, it also has to transcend. And so by us allowing this new knowledge and the new perspectives, from nurturing ourselves into being, we get to endure being who we are in the present and taking flight into new opportunities and the next stage of our evolutionary journey and our role as creators. And so with that, you can really, or we can really utilize the affirmations for each kin to connect and to reflect and to meditate and to stir up certain energies and thoughts within us, so that we can see what the red cosmic dragon or the kin of the plasma is really showing us. And so, um, I have done or created a remix to the affirmation, which includes the wave spell and some additional information regarding the time cell and all of those things, so that we can really bring in all of the energy. And so I'm only going to read it once here. And so if you are able to, just join me in reading it. And we're going to stick with the I. We're going to say I, because I want us to really make this personal and really get some of those divine insights. And in your free time, you can say we, or however you want to do it. But I am going to read it with I, and I also encourage you to read it from we as well. So for time's sake, let's go ahead and just read how we have it here. So it says, I endure my universal water in order to nurture my birth by transcending being. So this is what this means is we're enduring the process of being in our purified flow state as within our life force amongst all of the energy around us. And we're doing that in order to nurture our own divine purpose, the reason that we incarnated here to be, okay? So that we can take flight into being who we came here to be and do what we came here to do. And so the next line says, I seal my informed input of birth with the cosmic tone of presence. So the divine insights that you receive from reading this affirmation, from listening to the breakdown of the Destiny Oracle, and also as you continue throughout your day or your plasma, this information and these new knowledge and new perspectives will all reflect back to you more about your purpose. And so we get to lock this in by with that cosmic tone of present, being present. Make sure you be present today, okay? And so the last line of this affirmation says, I am guided by my power of life force. So this relates to the kin or the archetypes that sit in the spirit guide position. As we mentioned, we have the red serpent. So we're being guided by the power of life force. The power of life force is the energy that animates us to thrive, to live, to be, to create, to exist, to be living beings. Okay, so it's that energy within us that compels us to be and to exist. And so I have created, or well, first, before I talk about that, I want to talk about two quotes here that I came up with that helps us to understand the focus that we're sitting in today. And so when it says nurture birth to transcend being, it says, or I have this quote that says, that birthing or awakening a new state of being is a sacred journey that calls for great endurance and consistent nurturing to ensure that this new life can sustain itself and truly thrive. And so, as we go through this new awakening or this new rebirthing state, it does require for us to be able to endure going through the shifts, going through just being present and being aware so that we can be devoted and dedicated to really nurturing ourselves so that that new life can really take form and bloom, and so we could thrive in all that we are. The other quote that I have here is in relation to the spirit guide. So it says that as we purify and renew our life force energy, we become clear vessels. So that's the giving birth to the being. And by us becoming clear vessels, we channel the divine flow of our creative essence. Again, that's the cosmic synergy or the divine synergy that we embody. And as we do this, we are engaging in a sacred recycling of energy. um, as I was meditating on this, I thought it was so profound. Like, we're really recycling energy. We're transforming it with our own creative essence so that we can co-create, or so that we are co-creating with all that lives. So that all that lives goes back to the universal waters. And so with that, my one line phrase for the focus for today is that I am transcending my nurtured state of being to endure purified flow, or to endure my purified flow, or our purified flow. And so, two additional questions that I want to ask you to help you to lock in on this focus, or to, encourage you to look at this nurturing from a new perspective. I have number one: how can I nurture the birth of my life force pure energy? So that requires you to actually sit there and listen to your body and really see how you show up, and, that spark of joy that brings, that gives you, life, that makes you want to do stuff. How can you nurture the birth of who you essentially are, in your heart? Okay. And the next question is, am I trusting my instincts to thrive in my divine state of being? So are you trusting, listening to your body? Are you even paying attention to your body? Because our body will tell us. Another thing that comes to mind when it comes to life force is our nervous system. So pay attention to your nervous system, when you're doing certain things, and really just sit and meditate on, what emotions or thoughts that you're experiencing, and what is that showing you about how you're nurturing yourself, or what direction to go in it, if you need to refine it in some type of way, and things like that. And so, as we are now getting into the cosmic oracle reading of evolution, um, just hold that focus in your mind that we want to nurture our divine state of being. And we do that through our life force. And so the central frequency, again, is enduring the present so that we can't transcend. So I look at it as enduring the presence of our life force energy in our body so that we can take flight. Okay. And so we already talked about the kin in the center. That's our focus. We talked about the guide as well. Our GPS is set to thriving, or our life force to thriving. We want our life force to thrive. Okay. So as we nurture ourselves, think about how you can guide your nurturing in a way that it helps you to thrive. It helps your life force to thrive. And, we can also think about how we can nurture others to thrive in their life force. And we could do that by trusting our instincts. So allow your body to show you, really be patient and be in like observation mode. Uh, you know, I want to encourage us to do it from a place of responding and not from a place of reacting. So if you notice that, your nervous system is like, a little off, just take a moment to breathe and to reflect, okay, and see what that's showing you, what truth is showing you. And so with that leads us, or I feel called to talk about the physical body here, which we have the white cosmic mirror, which is supporting us in nurturing ourselves and holding this focus. And so I felt called to talk about the white cosmic mirror because it's through reflecting that we're able to see the truth and the order of how we're operating, and the order of how we may feel called or is necessary to operate. And so also when it comes to the mirror, we can reflect on um, see, it goes back to seeing what our experiences are showing us to ourselves. It's like literally seeing everything as a mirror. What is it reflecting back to you? What is it reflecting to how you're nurturing yourself? What is it reflecting to you about the way that you see yourself taking flight, and or moving to new levels in your life, or having new experiences? What is that showing you? Uh, so as we reflect on it, basically, again, we're observing within ourselves and around us, and seeing what that may be mirroring about the energy that we are putting out. Okay. And so I want to go down to talk about the emotional body, which we have the yellow magnetic sun. And I want to talk about the emotional body because that is the fuel. That's what's giving us that motivation to take action. And so when we look at our emotional body, as you're reflecting on, what your instincts are showing you, and what is being reflected back, reflecting what is being reflected to you around you, and from your observations, all of those things are showing you how to bring more of that spark of life to yourself. It's showing you the type of things that you're actually attracting, and it also is revealing the truth about what you feel called in your heart that you actually want to attract. So it's like, if you don't like how something's being done, what do you like? You know what I'm saying? It's that type of flip to it. And so as you're nurturing yourself, allow what gives your energy or your emotions, your energy and emotions, that spark of life, like that, it makes you feel joyful, it makes you feel more passionate, um, and things like that. So those are the things that you want to be mindful of attracting into your life. Like, is it really helping to enrich your life, just like the sun? Like, is it really helping you to, like, be fueled up to bloom and to grow, So then that brings us to the mental body, which we have the blue cosmic monkey, where it sits in the mental body, helping us to overcome different challenges and obstacles, to strengthen our mind. And so we have the blue cosmic monkey here that's encouraging us to play with our magic. Our magic is our ability to transform the unseen into something seen or tangible, or turning the intangible to something tangible that we and others can experience. And so, going back to what I was saying about, attracting, being reflecting on what we're attracting in our life, when we are able to transform those illusions, that's us tapping into our magic. So, however you see yourself, um, navigating in this experience as a nurtured being, how can you transform the illusions around you to reflect that same thing back to you? Like, it's just like when you look in the mirror. If your hair messed up and you don't like it, you got to transform the illusion. You got to fix your hair a different way until a style that you like it, and that your emotions is going to give you that spark to let you know that, okay, yep, this is it. And so this is how we want to nurture ourselves with the energy of this plasma. And when we put this all together, we're attracting we're attracting the mindset that we need to be in, so that we can really bring together and unify the vision that we want. And we know in our heart and mind that we are meant to accomplish. The more that we nurture ourselves and really bring ourselves to that whole state of being. And so with that, that includes the cosmic oracle reading of evolution for us on this plasma. Um, again, definitely trust your instincts to guide you. Pay attention, be present, and really focus on nurturing yourself to bloom into your divine state of being. And so with that, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, or you want to book a reading or anything like that. Yeah, here's my contact information, and I shall talk to you on the future session. So, in La Kesha, I can. I love y'all. Have a great, beautiful creation on this plasma, and also in every moment of now. Stay peace.